Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows, a very special episode of Bros and Shows. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Newsroom Goots.
I thought you were going to go breaking news, Magoots.
Oh, that would have been good, too.
It's not really breaking, though. It's sort of just a rundown.
Do you want to run down on what we're doing here today?
Yeah, we're going to do a little rundown here. So, essentially what's happening is we used to have something for our members, our beautiful members, that was a weekly news segment where we would just break down all the happenings in the Bravo world and reality TV world just to keep everybody up to date. Because we're chronically online, we see all of these things. Why not make an episode out of it to share with everybody else? We decided we're going to replace that. We're going to go ahead and give the news episode to the masses so that all of you guys can listen to us breaking down the happenings. So this way we're not doing just a recap of an episode. We're going to tell you guys what the hell's going on in the current times because we love the current times because we don't have to keep track of timelines.
So as he said, these were for our members only, but we wanted to give it to you guys as well. And we're replacing that for our members. If you are one of our beautiful members, or if you would like to become one of our members, we are replacing that with a rewatch of an OG season of Housewives. We're leaning towards RHONY Season 1, Episode 1 right now, but we'll do an exclusive episode every week on our members channel of a rewatch of an OG franchise. More than likely going to be RHONY. So you can look forward to that. If you want to join the members program, go ahead and click the link in our Instagram bio. But that's not why we're here today. We're here to bring you the news.
It's also going to be really funny because this is going to be way more freeform. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of structure. I get to see how you operate in the freeform world.
Who, me?
Yeah, you love a little structure. You like to have your notebook. You got all these stuff.
That's what you think?
All the things written down. Oh, you think you're going to do better with this?
You think I like that?
Oh, I think you love it. No, I think you need it.
I am not a structured person. I never have been. I had to take notes because I forget things.
Fair. Okay.
That's why current events are good because I scroll all day long because we have to for the podcast. We got to keep everyone up to speed on our Instagram.
That's why we scroll all day long.
Well,
not because I'm bored in the office.
It's both. I mean, I don't have an office. But
I'm working really hard in the office.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, boss.
Yep.
Shooter's boss.
Mm-hmm.
He's totally working hard. Do you want to just get into it?
I think we should just get into it because we've got a few topics that we need to discuss today. We're going to start off here with what the hell is happening in Salt Lake City.
I know, dude, and it's making me nervous. And normally I would be stoked when we get drama coming out.
Yep.
In between, like we're in the off season, because you're like, oh, cool, they're filming right now, so this is going to be lit. We got a lot to look forward to. This is different because this might be somebody leaving the show.
So this is what's happening. We'll just catch everybody up right now. If you've been online recently, you may have seen that there's rumors circulating one Meredith Marks in potential suspension based on what could have happened while they were filming. We do know that they are filming the Salt Lake City. I guess they're getting towards the end of the season at this point because they did start filming a few weeks ago or maybe a couple of months ago at this point.
Well, if it's weeks, they're not close to filming.
Yeah. Well, how long is the season?
Three
months?
You literally said the nice
say,
thing about
yeah,
current events is
I
we don't have
know.
timelines.
Well, all right. Let's just go under the guise that these seasons take about 2-3 months to film.
Okay.
I feel like we have to be at least halfway past that point because we've been hearing about them filming different things pretty much since the Bronwyn news dropped, where Bronwyn was, her past was dug up.
Well, apparently she was indicted or charged with identity theft, and then people kept digging, and there's other stuff. She was to the point where they had a cast trip, and she couldn't make it on time because she was dealing with the fallout of the identity theft stuff. That being said, we haven't seen anything come from that from a legal standpoint.
Well, apparently Lisa dug it up. So I did see something recently that said, and it kind of broke down every cast member and what they're doing.
Okay.
Now, there is some bias here because it does come from a Mary Cosby Stan account. But it broke down pretty much everybody, and then the only one who didn't really have anything was just Heather, and it was just, sleeping emojis, like snooze fest. But apparently
Thanks.
Lisa brings it up. Yeah. Lisa brings it up, and that's kind of a focal point for the whole season is the Lisa Bronwyn relationship, so we'll have to see how that goes out. But back to Meredith. We never got any sort of details as to what it was that she did. It was just sort of that she was spiraling and she did something that caused a suspension. Now, this came from a fan account. It came from, unconfirmed rumors, unconfirmed sources, and people just kind of ran with it. And it got to the point that Meredith had to post a picture on Instagram, just a selfie, pretty much in a very cryptic way saying, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what this is
Can
about.
you go ahead and read us that post?
Yeah, unless she's deleted it by now. Who the hell knows?
While he's searching for that, I'll fill you guys in as well. So the rumor points to, I guess Lisa dug it up, you said? She dug up the identity theft stuff.
She dug up the identity
Who
theft
dug up
stuff.
the shit on Meredith? Because she went after
No
somebody.
idea.
Okay, so apparently somebody on the show dug up some information pointing to Seth having an affair. And that started to blow up out of proportion. Obviously, we've been talking about this for years. There's been rumors and nastiness about potentially something weird happening. We know Seth's schedule flying back and forth from Ohio every single week is a little weird. So I guess something came to light or somebody pushed something to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of this is true or not.
I don't think it is true. And here's the caption. It just says, jealousy is a disease, to which I say, get well soon. Hashtag RHOSLC. So the timing of that is obviously pretty intentional.
Okay.
With all of the rumors that were going on. Somebody did, and I've looked on Twitter a lot, and again, these are all unconfirmed sources. There's nothing specifically from Meredith or anybody on the show or any producers, but somebody did say today, these are not confirmed. She was not suspended. I can tell you that much. And people kind of ran with that one too.
Okay.
It is very easy to just throw a rumor out there in the housewife world, especially when they're filming. And especially knowing when they do that, and we know this because we try to get people to interview with us when they're filming.
Yeah.
They can't do any interviews.
Most of
while
the
they're filming.
time, Bravo steps in and says, not right now. Check in with us after the season's done.
Mm-hmm.
But right here, it says, and this is from our friends over at Reality T, the source added, she wouldn't be surprised if the call was coming from inside the house and Brittany Bateman was leaking all of this herself to stay relevant. Meredith and Brittany get in some pretty nasty altercations and have had some blowout fights, but nothing that warrants a suspension. Everything on here points to this is a rumor. It says an insider says that Meredith was not suspended, but things are pointing towards Brittany because I guess she's stirring the pot this year, which makes a lot of sense. If I had to pick somebody that was going to be starting some random rumors, I would pick Brittany.
She strikes me as the type that when she realizes that she's getting under your skin, she just keeps going.
I would agree. I think also she strikes me as someone that would hear in passing, like someone make a Seth joke and she'd be like, oh, Seth's cheating on Meredith.
That too.
Which, granted, we've all been making those jokes, but that's...
we have. Mistresses in Ohio.
You can't fly to Ohio every week and not get some affair jokes, all right? It's par for the course. What do you want me to do?
We just have to keep doing it.
The good thing is, if she's not suspended, because love her or hate her, she is an integral part of that show. This will make for good drama during the season. Now we get to look forward to Brittany and Meredith hashing it out. That's going to be a lot of fun because they're so polar opposites. Like, if you had to pick two people on the cast that are the most different, I would argue it's Brittany and Meredith.
Yeah, for sure. And it also kind of makes me feel happy about what state we're in.
Mm-hmm.
This could have easily just been a Lisa Bronwyn all season type of thing.
Sure.
Hearing that there's a Meredith and Brittany thing sounds like comedic relief to me.
Yeah.
So that's great because we get a little break from there. And the other source that I was kind of going through on Twitter said that it looks like we do get, I guess it's Angie and Mary coming to Bronwyn's aid against Lisa. So I actually really like that. So it's gearing up to be, and we already knew this because last season was spectacular. The season before that kind of set everything in motion. It's gearing up to be another great season of Salt Lake, and I can't wait for it to come out.
I'm really excited for it, too. I think it's going to be another solid season. There's so much setting the tone of what we want these new casts and shows to look like. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't think we have any reason to be alarmed. I don't think she's leaving the show. I don't think she was suspended. All of our sources that we've read, there's no actual evidence, is what I'm seeing. Nobody has like a smoking gun.
It's sort of like towards the end of last season and after the reunion aired, we heard rumors that Lisa was talking about leaving because she couldn't handle it anymore. She's not going anywhere.
That came up again, like recently.
Yeah.
So this is what happens. We get bored with what's going on. We were talking about Beverly Hills, which is a snooze fest. So people start digging and seeing things and hearing things, and then somebody makes a post, somebody runs with it, and then you get a big rumor that somebody has to address the elephant in the room. Now, I do believe that it gets to a point where it's probably like, oh shit, they're really going at it. But the implication was that there was a physical altercation, which is why she was asked to be suspended.
Why we need security guards.
We're big advocates of having security guards at every
Mhm.
event, so you can just have it, on hand to be like, all right, get her out of here.
Yep.
Meredith did it.
Yeah, it was Meredith.
That was Meredith. Yeah. So
God, I was trying to remember his name.
at
Two of
I
them.
just remember William was
Potomac.
he was
though.
Potomac. I don't know if they did the names at. Did they do the name
but
tags?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't think anybody hit anybody. I don't think there's actually a physical altercation. We probably would have heard about that with actual evidence from actual good sources. So I think
look at Atlanta.
Exactly, we knew everything.
Physical altercation, but we heard enough.
Yeah, we heard plenty about that before it went down. So I think we're good. I think everything's going as it should. This just tells us there's a lot of drama to look forward to this season. I will also say RHOSLC needs to come back soon.
Yep.
Uh,
We've got Miami to sink our teeth.
I'm so excited for Miami, dude. And I need this season to be the season that more people watch Miami.
Yeah. Well, you know what I want to do? I want to do a gear up for Miami. So me personally, I'm going to go back and start season 1, episode 1 of Miami.
Love that.
And I'm just going to kind of skip through all of that, enjoy myself, and just get in the right frame of mind for Miami in June. The reason why is because randomly, and Peacock will just do this to me every once in a while, it'll throw on a random episode of Orange County from like season 7. It is so funny to watch those episodes now, and we're going to have such a great time with our rewatch when we do that for our members. And I'm going to tell you one thing, and you're going to love it. The music, the way that it's filmed, it feels like an HGTV show. You know how like you can
love that.
You could get a current HGTV show from 2024 that it's like House Hunters.
Yeah,
it looks like it was filmed in 2004.
I love
and
that.
And it has that same like quirky music in the background. They used all of that in like season 6, season 7 of OC.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I'm really pumped when we do our rewatch for that. But I do want to segue into, and you brought up Potomac, Mia Thornton.
We got a lot of Potomac news this week.
Gone.
She's out of here.
Don't let the door hit you.
And don't. This is what pisses me off about.
You want me to read her post?
We're gonna have to. That's the other thing we have the freedom to do during these episodes is actually look things up and read them to you. This is what pisses me off. She's leaving the show. One, she makes it seem like, and this is, I can't hold her at fault any more so than other housewives because, or anyone on Bravo for that matter. Over the past 3 years, we've watched, I don't know how many, 5 to 10 people not asked to come back. They all frame it as though, I've made the decision to not come back to the show. It's like, you were never coming back to the show. You were the only bad part of Potomac. You and Jacqueline ruined an otherwise fairly decent season. So for her to go and make this post like, it's just the right time for me to move on, and then have the balls to imply that you're going to Atlanta, don't you dare.
Well, yeah.
Don't you dare.
She is implying that. Now, she did make 3 posts.
Oh, good God. Do less.
First post is just her holding a
newspaper.
The Miami Times. The Miami Times. I don't know.
The Miami Times.
I thought she was doing like a play on Miami, and then
Mia
I
Moore.
think that's kind of what
Mia Moore.
Yeah, whatever.
Jesus.
She doesn't deserve me to actually know what the fuck she's talking about. And it just says coming soon, and she says the headline is mine to write, the legacy is mine to build. The Miami Times is coming, and she's bringing everything with her. You would think that would be enough.
Is she starting a newspaper?
Maybe she is. You would think that would be enough. And then you could kind of go into your news. No, we're going to do one more post about coming soon in the Miami Times. Not just a headline. I am the story. The countdown has begun. Power, presence, purpose. The queen is coming. Miami Times.
What?
I don't fucking know. And then finally she gives us what the hell we're talking about. And it's just, with every new season comes a new beginning, and I have some news to share. My family and I have made the decision to relocate to Atlanta. And with that, I will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Potomac. Which family? Who's going?
Good point. Is Ink
Gordon
involved? Is G going? Or is you leaving him in the apartment?
I don't know. She doesn't actually expand on that, really. It's just a bunch of thank yous. Next chapter is already full of exciting opportunities, and I cannot wait to take you all along for the ride. I will not be signing up for that ride. Thank you.
No.
Big things are coming. I don't just make headlines, I make history. Atlanta, brace yourselves. The empire has expanded. What empire?
I don't know.
Everything's closing. All the joints are closing.
You don't own them. You took us to the joint that you are no longer involved in and had the most awkward massage demonstration like that. 10-minute segment that we got during the season was the most uncomfortable I've been watching Bravo.
Yeah.
It made no sense to me. Nobody there was having a good time. And again, I get flustered because you know what the implication is there. I'm going to Atlanta, therefore look out, Real Housewives of Atlanta. If they put her on a good cast that is doing a good job,
She'd get eaten alive on Atlanta.
she couldn't stand up to any of them. She would have her lunch ate every single day. But my whole point is that show's doing well. We've already survived the Kenya fallout, and they're still doing well, so that's a great sign. Do not. If Bravo puts Mia on Atlanta, I'm not watching Atlanta.
Do you know what her headline is on Instagram?
What?
Mom, mogul, investor, CEO.
Of what? Of what?
Fuck if I know.
Or what?
Nothing anymore.
Or what?
This is actually, and it's funny because before we started filming, I was just kind of like scrolling Instagram just to see.
Oh, before you and I started filming?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Just to see what the hell was going on. And I saw that I still followed Taylor Ann Green. And I'm like, why do I do this?
Nope.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah,
I
good
never
luck.
followed Mia, though, to be fair.
We didn't follow from our account either. I didn't need to see what was going on with me. I definitely
nope.
don't need to see what's going on now. And I swear to God, if she tries to get a foot in the door of Real Housewives of Atlanta, if I even see a friend of moment, I'm going to lose my shit. She does not belong on TV anymore. Move on.
Move on.
Oof.
And we're going to move on
Yeah, let's keep
to
going.
the next topic. I'm going to give you two choices here.
Oh, I like that.
We can keep it Potomac centric.
Let's finish up on
All
Potomac.
right, we'll finish up Potomac, and this isn't really like substantiated news, but it looks like it's heading in this direction. It looks like Karen's probably going to get out in November.
Yeah, that's all signs are pointing to quote unquote good behavior. So she's getting out ever so slightly early.
When was she supposed to get out? January or February? When was her trial? January or February, and then it was
You know what? I really
originally supposed to be like 2 years and whatever, and it never lasts. I mean, Jen Shaw's going to get out probably this year too, so who knows?
Jen Shaw keeps getting like years removed from her sentence. Every time she's in the headlines, like 2 more months, 2 more months, and she's hanging out with the
The Theranos. lady.
Theranos lady. Yeah, they're like palling around, working out together, and she's getting out. I think 2 years early.
Well,
now.
I used to merge with Anna Delvey. It's not Anna Delvey.
No, she was the con artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that show? She's famous now
Theranos
too.
was also a con artist, but yeah.
That's a good point. But Anna Delvey just pretended to have money.
Yeah.
And that was her
Which,
thing.
you know what? Good for her.
She's rich again, by the way, because she got out and wrote a book and like everyone bought it.
Smart.
Hey,
Maybe that was the long game.
don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what?
But yeah, so for Karen, I mean, they're going to start filming, and they've already said they're not waiting for
There's
her.
no
to start
way.
filming.
There's no way she comes back.
So we're probably going to have a full season without Karen. What they do after that is, I don't even know.
She
I
has
imagine she'll come back.
She has so much to make up for if she comes back. Like
Right.
the way that she handled this whole thing was absolutely
won't.
insane. She got denied work order
Yeah.
because I'm assuming the judge involved was like, "Did you watch how she handled this? Like she doesn't deserve work order because she didn't even act like she
Same
did
judge
anything
that
wrong."
put Ralph in the basement. Just a huge Bravo fan.
Well, whoever Ralph's judge is somewhat team Ralph because Drew got smoked in court in last week's episode. She wanted 3 things and she got none of them. So apparently that judge likes Ralph. But as far as Karen goes, and we'll just talk about like her returning to the show, if she comes back, it has to be so genuine that she's on a forgiveness tour and like taking accountability for everything she's done. The way she handled that whole thing, I don't want her back. I don't think she deserves to come back. And I think that Potomac has a good enough cast to go on without her. I think that you'll also, and this is important because if you look at Atlanta, right? And you look at what other show did her shakeup? Atlanta, Roni, no, that's because they did a full reboot. That's a different.
I mean,
scenario.
OC pretty much did a shakeup.
OC did a shakeup, and Salt Lake. It's the core group is still there, but they keep inserting other people. And they brought Mary back. They did shake it up a little bit. What my point is, the shows that are doing well now have done enough to change the direction of the show that we're watching. It's no longer callbacks to the shows that everybody's used to back in the day. It's taken a different direction in a positive way. That's something that Potomac now has the chance to do because you got rid of Robin. Karen's not there anymore. Mia's gone, who was the big problem last season. Now you've got a cast of women everyone's kind of got a fresh approach to it. We saw a totally different Gizelle last season. We saw a totally different Wendy last season. So what they're giving them the chance to do is like, here you go. The show's pretty much yours now. The Grand Dame is gone. The pain in the ass is gone. What can you ladies do with it? And I'm confident that that cast can put together a fun season, drama filled, and take this show in a new direction. I think that if you bring Karen back, what are we talking about all season?
Yeah, and we're gonna have to do that eventually because I just don't see a world in which they don't bring her back after she gets out. I think we're gonna have one interesting season where, yeah, we'll have the first couple episodes this next season where they talk about Karen.
Yeah, but then we need to move past
And we
it.
can move past it. And look, I think what we've learned from last season is Gizelle understands the assignment.
Mhm.
Robin's gone. You need to fill a different role here.
Yeah.
You can't just be with Robin the whole time. You can't find somebody to replace her. You have a much bigger shoes to fill.
A much more important role.
And she figured it out. And
She did great.
She took the show in the right direction. Wendy started coming into her own finally because she wasn't under everybody else's shadow. She wasn't getting into petty fights anymore. Mia obviously tried to take the show in a different direction and she couldn't.
Because it was bad.
Yeah, exactly. So, and with that, and with Gizelle and Ashley being on this Love Hotel show, they're going to have a little bit more exposure. They're going to be able to step up in a bigger way. I don't really care for Ashley that much, but she's very good for the show.
Yeah.
So it works out well, and obviously they can kind of plug and play different people depending on who's around the Potomac area that you can put in there that isn't traveling from Atlanta up to Potomac every fucking week to go film. So I think it's in a good direction. I don't see this Mia news. I don't see Karen being in prison as a bad thing for the show at all. I think we're going to be able to find and plug in new blood, and with the existing characters that we have, I think it's going to work out well.
When do we get cameras in a prison? There's enough Bravo people in jail
right.
or having been in jail. I don't know why we don't get to go to prison. I want to go to prison. Whoa. I don't want to go to prison.
Let's go to prison?
Very
movie.
Underrated movie.
Yeah.
Extremely underrated movie. Good call. Was that Dax Shepard?
Yeah, Will
Right?
Arnett.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Great movie.
I don't want to go there, but I do want cameras to go there. And there has to be, in this day and age, some warden that's like,
But they're in
Come
like
on
these
in.
white collar crime prisons too.
you can put cameras in there.
Definitely put cameras in there.
So let's do
There
that.
probably is cameras in the Jen Shaw Theranos camp.
There's gotta be, right?
I feel like
all
there
those
is, and
rich
it's going to be a
people.
Hulu show
Have
or
you
something.
seen the pictures? It's so
Yeah,
fucking
it's just
funny.
very funny.
They're like playing tennis. They're doing yoga. It's
Yeah.
like, is this a camp or is this a prison?
Like baby goat yoga in there.
They probably do, honestly.
They're probably able to like actually trade stock still too.
Oh yeah, they definitely have like a full business center where you can go in and do some, and you get some really good insider
Like,
trading.
instead of
They're
them
already in
making
jail.
license plates, they're just making stock
They're
exchanges.
making exchanges and insider trading because they're all in there for white collar crimes.
Yeah,
that's see, give me cameras. I want to watch
that
that.
would be funny.
That would be great. But let's keep trucking. And you said Love Hotel, which is a show that's coming out on Bravo next month?
Next week.
Next week. Oh, and we'll see
Sunday
how
night.
that goes. That's going to be, those shows for me fall under the Crappie Lake umbrella.
Yeah, I think it's, and we don't really know. I think we did actually look this up at one point. It's 6 episodes, I think.
Okay.
Which is like the perfect amount.
Yeah,
It
you
is
don't
the
need any more.
perfect amount. It's such a good bridge show for the Bravo schedule. It takes us right
Agreed.
into June. If it's 8 episodes, I'm still okay with it. Once you get into that 9-10 territory,
Too much.
done.
Yeah, way too much. Let's look up, I think we did this before, but the cast of this show.
It's just Gizelle, Ashley, Luann, and Shannon.
Shannon. And I forgot that JKB hosts this thing.
Yep.
It's hosted by Joel Kim Booster, who we met, who didn't seem to like us very much.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk to him.
They probably didn't know who we were.
Yeah, I hope that's what it was. I don't
Yeah.
know. He made a remark to Andy when we were on Watch What Happens Live, like pretty much saying like straight guys don't belong in this universe. As we were standing 5 feet behind him at the
Big
bar,
thumbs up, big smile.
we
from
both
us.
thumbs up. I
Yep.
think we're like, that's
Cool.
what we're here for. So yeah, that's going to be interesting, but that's not what I want to talk about. It was just the Love Hotel gets us over to Love Island.
Mm-hmm.
So Peacock is putting together or has put together a show. It's the last season's cast of Love Island.
Last season's cast of the U.S. version of Love Island.
Okay.
Minus a few key players, but most of the famous people are coming back, and it's going to be following their foyer into the new world with their new careers and all their newfound publicity. And it's going to be pretty interesting. Originally, when it popped up, because it's called like Beyond the Villa or something.
Yeah, it's Love Island Beyond the Villa.
I thought it was going to be a summer house type of show where we throw them back into a house together and just see how it goes. It's not. It's them living their day-to-day lives, and obviously they're going to be together a lot of the time. So we'll have to see how it goes.
This could be one of those that it could be never discussed again, or this could take
Yeah.
off. It has the chance to do both.
Look, the people that really liked Love Island, and I watched a lot of Love Island last year, they're still following these people a lot. So it's not like they missed an opportunity. They didn't do it soon enough or anything like that. Odell Beckham's brother is
not in the
it,
show.
which is interesting because his girlfriend is in it. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But I think it's going to be a good enough type of one-off show, especially for a Peacock show where you can just kind of throw it on randomly. But I do think it's going to be airing around the same time as the next season's Love Island. So
Let's see. It comes out summer 2025. So we don't have an exact date. It just says set to premiere summer 2025. Will follow former Islanders around Los Angeles as they navigate new careers, evolving friendships, and newfound fame. The cast consisting of Serena Page, Jana Craig, Aaron Evans, Miguel Harichi, Leah Kateb, Kaylor Martin, Connor Newsom, Kenny Rodriguez, Olivia Walker, and Kendall Washington. So that's the whole cast. As you said, Kordell Beckham is not going to be involved with this one, but this has a chance. And I like Peacock being the test ground for things because that's what they did with Miami when they came back after that long pause. Then it was great, and I love the fact that you can just kind of watch it through. Didn't they do Miami uncensored that first season when they were back?
I think so. Yeah.
Peacock shows should always be
They
uncensored.
should, honestly. And most of us watch this the next day. I know that, certain episodes, certain reunions, you want to watch it live, you want to see what's going on. But if we're watching on Peacock the next day, just uncensor it.
Right?
There's no reason. I know they edit it, and this is probably just trying to get away from what Bravo does, but Bravo tends to edit things so that we don't really hear many bleeps when it comes to especially housewife shows. Yeah, the one-offs like Southern Charm and VPR and Summer House, we're going to hear a lot more. But those shows should be uncensored the next day.
I think that or have the option.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch it uncensored?
Yeah.
We're grown-ups, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
we need that capability. But it's going to be interesting. And then look, I agree with you. Peacock should be doing this. So this should be the experimental phase for Bravo.
Right?
Let's throw something out there. It's reality TV centric. If we can get them on a contract, see how it goes. See if people are going to watch it. And I think this is still, and we're still in the realm of Peacock trying to expand its audience.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to bring in and look, Love Island's on Peacock. So those people do watch it. But enough people have probably picked up, oh, who are these people? These are Love Island people. I'll watch Peacock and I'll get to watch more of them. So it makes more sense to do that. But yeah, I don't know. The fucking Next Gen show should be a Peacock show.
That 1000% should be a Peacock show. There's no reason for that to be straight to the network. But I'm excited for this one because I like the fact that it's taking the Love Island. It's somewhat merging those two worlds. It's this is what we're used to watching in a reality TV setting. You take that wacky dating show setup and you combine the two, it could make for really interesting TV alongside of the fact that obviously they're going to keep running with Love Island USA. Mm-hmm. So clearly they're trying to experiment and test the waters to be do we have a pipeline? Because this show is so polarizing. So, everybody talks about it and watches this show.
Yeah.
We need more from these characters. So can we pluck them and put them into this next reiteration of Love Island? I think that it makes a lot of sense. Which takes me to another point that's really interesting if it manifests. And I think that we're going to see, because Paige has made references of, her time on Summer House may be coming to an end.
Yeah.
Ariana has also made references. I would love for Paige to be on Love Island. I think she would have a blast. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but
I don't think that's going to happen.
I do see a world where we get a different show from Paige in the future. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what that.
I could honestly see if this Love Hotel thing works,
where she goes
Bravo
over.
can start doing that with various housewives, and they tend to skew the age groups anyway. With somebody like Ashley, with Gizelle, with Shannon, with Luann, you could throw a Paige and Ariana's too big now, but throw a Paige and
Paige is getting to that point. They're
honestly a Paige and Sierra.
That would be
throw
awesome.
them out there and then put 2 housewives who are single on there and just see how it goes. And you can do that every year. in like a 6-7 episode format and just see, and then that'll get you enough ratings, and it gives us something to talk about too.
And I think that's what Bravo's trying to do now is fill in the gaps that we had. Because last year, obviously, they had that big lull. I'm assuming it's because they're trying to figure out ways to captivate a new audience.
Yeah.
You do that with things like this, the Love Island, uh, Love Hotel. I don't know why there's not season 2 of Crappie Lake and just send them to another podunk town somewhere. That was a no-brainer for
Yeah, what
me.
are they up to?
But I'm glad that they're trying to branch out. I'm glad they're trying to figure some different ways forward. I just get nervous that it's like, is it too late? Are people too accustomed to what they watch on Bravo that if you try to mix it up, it's like, yeah, I don't like this. This is new. I don't like change. But they need to change.
I agree. They have to change. Times are changing.
Times they are changing, and they're changing on Beverly Hills too. Our last thing that I want to discuss is Garcelle's departure. Obviously, we talked about it at length on our recap of the reunion, but the fallout from it is almost more interesting than the reunion itself. Actually, it is way more interesting because the reunion sucked.
Yep.
The fallout from it has been very interesting because
Very interesting.
I mentioned in our recap, I was like, I don't think that Garcelle and Sutton have talked since this happened. Confirmation of that comes in because Garcelle went and unfollowed the entire cast, including Sutton, but did not unfollow Sutton's businesses, to the point that Sutton commented on that, saying, well, she still supports my businesses. What did Garcelle do the next day?
Immediately unfollowed all of her businesses.
Correct.
And that was actually kind of funny because it was highlighted by a lot of content creators showing that. And that's something that like we'll probably never do.
Go in and search for followers? Not in a million
yeah.
years.
But
I
enough people
appreciate it.
did, and they screenshot it and they put it out there. And look, you're doing the Lord's work. We appreciate that. But it was funny because you would type in Sutton and you would just see like Sutton concepts, Sutton designs, Sutton clothing, and no actual Sutton's track. She brought that up, and I guess it was in a different interview or somebody asked for a comment, and that's what happened. The very next day, Garcelle dropped all of those as well. Like, you know what? No, we're done. And look, this is the clean break that honestly I was kind of expecting. Yeah, the Sutton thing, they could still be friends in the long run. Who knows what's going to happen there?
Down the line, probably.
For Garcelle, after the season airs, after all of that happens, after all the dumb bullshit backlash that she was getting, where people were like, "Oh yeah, you should have stayed around. How dare you leave? That was so stupid. You can't do this to these women." Like, no, she doesn't need the show. Clean break, full clean break. She doesn't need to follow any of them. She's probably not following Bravo stuff anymore. She's probably not doing anything. She's not in communication with them. She's moving on to the rest of her life,
Correct.
which is what she wants to do. Why are we all surprised that she's doing that? That's the funny part.
Are people surprised?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Look, if you're going in and searching followers and who she's following, and you're seeing that she unfollowed everybody, they're surprised.
That doesn't make sense. I'm on your page where it's like, yeah, I'm separated. Even if she still wants to be friends with a couple of them.
It's also social media. It's just so fucking. Who cares?
Isn't that so funny that that's
Who
a thing now? It's like,
cares?
oh, did you hear so and so unfollowed so and so?
All the people like I'll see it on TikTok every once in a while. Someone will be like, "Here's how you find out if you're following somebody who's not following you back." I'm like, you just search them, figure out if they're
Yeah,
following
and
you.
also I
Also,
don't
who
fucking
cares?
care. Like, not in a million years am I looking to see if somebody's still.
She's
following
not
me.
on the show anymore. She doesn't have to have these forced friendships anymore. She's moving on with her life. She's gone. She's done. She's unfollowing them. And
She's
moving
coming
on.
back in something. She's coming back in something. I
Sure.
don't know what it is.
Maybe she'll bounce over to Vanderpump Villa.
I think that's the route, or just not
Good
even
friends with LVP.
Not even. She can go over to Vanderpump Rules, the
true.
new season of that, because Oliver's on it. It
Oliver's
makes a
not
lot.
on it.
Oh, he's not.
No. He's
Really?
done. He is done with Bravo. He's not doing anything. Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that was something. I think they asked LVP that and they asked Garcelle that, and Garcelle said no, absolutely not. He's done with it. He had that one little like this and that, and then he was on VPR and like flirting with Lala.
He had that messy,
And I think
like,
there was some other shit going on. They were like, yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore.
he ended up making out with somebody,
He
and
made out with Raquel, didn't he?
that's right.
Yeah.
But Lala was hitting on him.
Uh huh.
He made out with Raquel. She said that he had a girlfriend. He said that, oh, yeah, that
Mhm.
shit got messy as hell.
Yeah. We kind of tried to block out that last season. Though.
Yeah, that was such a
PR.
miserable run.
Well, that season was good. It was the season after that was
I
Well, good. I put in quotes.
it was good because of the most ridiculous scandal in Bravo history with the Scandival. I still laugh at how big that got.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's fucking insane. But with that, We do have Vanderpump Villa coming out soon, which we're excited about. It is I believe they drop it all at once, unfortunately. So we're going to be recapping that 2 at a time, I believe, 2 or 3 at a time, depending. They're quick, they're easy to watch. It's a great show if you haven't seen it yet. It's a very, very good, like, what do I put on right now?
Yeah.
Throw it on in the background and you will find yourself paying attention to it. With the addition of Stassi and Bo coming back to reality TV, I think it's going to hit a little bit harder than it did last year. And then on top of that, we got Mom Talk returning, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So we're actually going to be dropping some of our original episodes from last season so you guys can run through those, get ready for this next season. That's another one. If you haven't watched that, that show's amazing.
That's a doozy.
That's such a ridiculous, amazing show. And I think that this season they're bringing on some of the other swingers.
More moms?
More moms. The more moms. Ha! But remember, that was our big thing. Is like some of these people had to have been involved in the threesomes and shit.
They're gonna bring them in.
They're coming in, so we get to talk about all of it. So we got all of that to look forward to. But if you liked this episode, this format, we're gonna keep tweaking it. This is the first run through for the masses.
And I have an idea for this since we typically, as everybody knows, we do questions towards the end of these shows. I think what we'll do maybe next week before we record this, the day before we record this, I'll put out a little feeler. I'll let you guys know that we're doing a news episode and it's going to air, or we're going to record the next day. Get your topics in. We'll pick a couple of topics and we'll talk about them.
I got another idea.
Because that'll keep it fresh. Because sometimes, and we know this, and everybody else listening to this knows this, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to Bravo. There's not a lot of news. So we'll talk about the topics that you guys want to talk about in a much more free-form setting. We can just go back and forth and then branch off into tangents.
Love it. I love it. We enjoy doing stuff like this, so hopefully you do too. If you want to leave us some feedback in the DMs, we would love to hear from you to know what you liked, what you didn't like. Well, don't say that. Just tell us what you liked. Don't tell me what you didn't like.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
bad
that.
reviews.
Yeah, come on now. But I will also say, you know what we could do?
What?
And it's really easy to set up. You set up a voicemail. People can call in. Let's do that.
All right.
We'll do both.
Yeah, we'll
do
start
both.
tweaking.
We'll have a voicemail segment, and then we'll do a question segment at the end. I like this. You'll be able to call in, and we'll play your voice on the show.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Fuck, I got to figure out how to do that. It can't be that
That's
hard.
all right.
So many people do that.
We've got a week to figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
We'll try to have it as it stands right now because, like Steele said, we've got Vanderpump Villa is coming out this week, so we'll kind of fill in the cracks here and there with some episodes. We've got Love Hotel comes back on Sunday as well. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, we've got Mom Talk coming back and Miami coming back and all these types of things. So we will most likely, it seems like Tuesday is our free day.
Yeah.
We'll be doing our news episodes on Tuesdays, so just kind of gear up for that. They'll be out on Wednesdays and just kind of go off of that.
Yeah, and we're going to keep tweaking it. By the end of this, we're working towards something, okay? And this is our test runs to work towards a final product that we will unveil to you when we feel like we're ready for that. As you know, we take our sweet-ass time to do things.
We certainly do.
So we'll keep you updated.
This is the beginning stages of that bigger thing, though.
Yes,
so
it
we
is.
already started it.
Oh, wow, that's a good point.
So we're not taking our sweet-ass time. We're getting into it.
We did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have been talking about this for like 3 months.
Shut the fuck up. Why? We were cool.
I mean, no, we didn't. Yeah, we came about today.
Yeah. You got anything else?
Nope.
Yeah, that's our show, bros. Gotta go.